Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.
Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. I am Mimuna Bagodu here. Biden's son Hunter pleads guilty to tax evasion charges. In sports, Palmer, Fofana, Lavia left out of Chelsea's European squad. Now the news in detail. Now, Vice President Kashim Shettima on Thursday met with the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Henikin Lukbobiri, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and the Group Chief Executive Officer of Nigeria's National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The meeting was aimed at finding a lasting solution to the current outcry generated by the recent increase in the price of petrol. Addressing State House correspondents at the end of the meeting, which lasted about 30 minutes, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Henikin Lukbobiri said they were summoned by the Vice President as directed by President Bola Tinubu.
Summoned by the Vice President, who was directed by Mr. President to summon this meeting. And we've been with him to brief him what is going on across the country. And what is important is for us to convey to Nigerians that the President is empathetic about what is going on in the country. He's concerned about the hardship of Nigerians, and that was why he directed the Vice President to call this meeting, for us to reflect on what is going on in the country. What is important is that products are available in the country. And we believe that between now and the weekend, there will be availability of products across the length and breadth of the country. The price could be high in some other areas, much more. Higher in some other locations, in some locations much more than, other areas. But we believe that by the time, there is availability of products across the country, the price itself will stabilize. But what is important is that government is not fixing prices. This sector is deregulated, and we believe that with the availability of products, the price will find, its level. And this is important, for Nigerians to know. In summary, is that President is empathetic about what's going on. That's why he directed this meeting. There is enough product in the country to be able, to meet the demands of Nigerians, so there should be no panic buying. And we also believe that the Nigerians need to know that government is not fixing prices. I think that is what, I want to convey to Nigerians.
The minister added that there is no cause for panic as there are enough petroleum products in stock. Lukbobiri reiterated that contrary to insinuations, the prices of petroleum products are not set by the government. Executive Director of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Mr. Ugbogu Ukoha, said all regulatory efforts are now geared towards stabilizing supply across the country, with the resultant impact expected to be a stability of price.
All regulatory efforts are now geared towards stabilizing supply, with the resultant impact that it will be positive also on the stability of price. To that objective, the regulator is ensured that there's increased operating hours from all loading depots, vessels are being cleared promptly, and extended hours where safety can permit for truck outs as well. More importantly also is the reinforcement of the support being given to local refiners, because with increased production from them, indeed, like the minister has said, there will be higher supply, which will stabilize the price. That's the effort that the regulator is making.
Lokpobiri emphasized that resolving the supply issues is a top priority and that efforts are underway to ensure consistent petrol availability and ease the strain on Nigerians. Now, World Bank makes recommendations for FCTA on housing transport crisis among outskirt residents. The World Bank has recommended ways the Federal Capital Territory Administration can address the housing and mass transport crisis in Abuja, particularly for residents on the outskirts. Will Bradley, consultant for urban livability and mobility in Nigeria at the World Bank, shared his observations on the sidelines of the Gender and Inclusion Summit 2024 session. Bradley stated that his research indicates there is no effective affordable housing program in Abuja. He emphasized that the current infrastructure efforts by government are inadequate despite several mass housing programs in the city. According to Bradley, the current public-private partnerships are not delivering affordable housing to those in need, especially for residents on the outskirts. Bradley called on the FCT to increase funding for new housing in the outskirts and to revise its approach to demolitions, arguing that the government cannot resolve the housing deficit through demolition alone. He stressed the importance of upgrading houses in the suburbs and outskirts as an alternative to demolition. Now, the recent fuel price hike has triggered widespread concerns among Nigerians about its broader economic impact. Rising costs affecting housing, transportation and business operations, forcing many individuals to spend 70 to 90% of their income on essential needs. This dramatic increase in living expenses is leaving little room for savings or discretionary spending, and many Nigerians are struggling to manage their finances amidst growing difficulties. During an interview with Housing TV Africa, Nigerians from various sectors expressed their distress over the rising costs. Take a look.
To me, it's not normal, and there's a lot of hardship on people as a result of the hike in the price of petrol. It has affected transportation, because the money I used to pay from airport to this place used to be like 400, as in from airport to Federal Secretariat here, it used to be 400, but now I've spent up to 1,000. So it has affected it, and be it as it may be, you know, if landlords heard that everything is gone up, they will raise their own rent too, so that they will meet up with standard of living.
It's very shocking. This is affecting every Nigerian, everybody. And it is also affecting every business. Nobody is happy with the way things are going. You wake up, the next day you hear increment, adjustment every day. Nobody can say, you cannot just project that this is what is likely to happen next tomorrow. As a businessman, it is very difficult to budget. And this is affecting everybody, including the people that it affects most are what we call the poor people, who pay for all these services. So it is shocking that Nigeria, as a nation with about 3 refineries, every day they give us information. Port Harcourt refinery will start producing, Warri refineries, Kaduna. None of them is coming up.
A lot, dear, a lot is happening. It's not been easy for everybody. Fuel price increase, I think this is the second time concerning this administration. It's not been easy on the people generally. I'm just coming out from area 11 now to Federal Secretariat now, and what I paid is different from what I used to pay. Honestly, it's not the best. It's not the best. This is not the best of time for Nigerians right now. And my wish is that government will be able to do something about it. For the house rent issue, it's terrible, because most landlords now, they are not even interested in what the plight of people are. For example, my house rent used to be 200. All of a sudden, my landlord just increased it to 350,000 naira just 2 weeks ago. And how much is my salary as a civil servant? It's not been easy, honestly. They are not even helping in their own case as well. So, generally, speaking about markets, that is another area to go into. Honestly, you go to market, what you used to buy is different from now. What your salary of, as a level 10 officer, what your salary can earn you before is not what you can buy in the market again. It's honestly, it's not funny again.
Think about it, the fuel increment. Life is not funny. Moving from one place to another, you can see a distance that you used to charge like all those stuff, 1K, they are not charging more than that. And think of it, if you are not working. If you are not working, how will you cope? How will you cope? And that is my expression that these are not okay at all. The economic wise, I mean, all aspects of the economic is not easy. And let the government of these days hear the cry of the masses. Because this a democratic system of government is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. A government for the interests of the masses. A government that has people at heart. And you have to listen to the people that vote you in. No matter how you are a mother, you are a father, and an elder statesman. You should hear the cry of the masses, hear the cry of the people, especially women with children.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has announced that its team recovered a body from the rubble of a collapsed building in No Man's Land Quarters, Fage Local Government Area, Kano, bringing the total number of casualties to 3. The incident occurred early Thursday morning. In addition to the fatalities, NEMA operatives rescued 2 injured individuals from the debris. NEMA coordinator for the Kano Tertiary Office, Dr. Nuruddin Abdullahi, confirmed that the building, which has 2 stories high, collapsed around 2 a.m. Abdullahi reported that among the 4 people initially rescued were a husband, wife, and their 2 children. Sadly, the 2 children were confirmed dead, while the couple was taken to the Armed Forces Specialist Hospital in Kano for treatment. The deceased have been moved to the mortuary. Now, more stories coming your way after this break. Stay with us.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Glad to know you're still there, still on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now, business. Nigeria experienced a significant decline in value as it traded at 1,639 naira to the dollar at the official rate. According to data from the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, this marks a notable drop of 34 naira from the previous rate of 1,606 naira. In the black market, the naira also fell, with the rate decreasing to 1,645 per dollar from 1,640 naira. The day before the 5 naira drop highlights the ongoing challenges faced by the local currency. These shifts in exchange rates reflect continued economic pressures and market instability, affecting both official and informal currency markets. Experts in the housing sector have raised concerns about the rising cost of homes in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos and Abuja. They warn that many Nigerians can no longer afford to buy property in their cities due to soaring prices. The Housing Development Advocacy Network HDAN has called on the government to take urgent action. The group says the affordability crisis needs to be addressed before it worsens. Executive Director of HDAN, Festus Adebayo, highlighted that prices for a one-bedroom apartment in Lagos and Abuja now exceeds 25 million naira, making it nearly impossible for most Nigerians to own a home. Former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele has initiated legal actions to contest recent court rulings that have led to the forfeiture of his assets to the federal government. Emefiele's legal team has submitted applications aimed at reversing these decisions, which have resulted in the seizure of both his financial assets and real estate. Since Emefiele's removal from office, the Federal High Court has issued multiple orders at the request of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. These orders have led to the confiscation of Emefiele's assets, with the latest ruling on August 12, 2024, involving the provisional seizure of $2.045 million and various properties. The court's latest forfeiture order was granted following an ex parte application presented by EFCC counsel Rotimi Oyedepo and approved by Justice Akintayo Aluko. Emefiele's ongoing legal efforts seek to overturn these asset forfeitures. Now, the Federal High Court in Lagos has fixed Thursday, September 12 for the hearing of all applications on a suit seeking to forfeit permanently some monies and properties linked to former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Dende Dikpeolu fixed the date after listening to the submissions of all the counsel in the matter. At the resumed hearing of the matter on Thursday, Bilikisu Buhari Bala appeared for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, while Olalekan Ojo appeared for the former CBN governor. Another lawyer, Chibuzo Opara, announced his appearance for the occupants of 8A Adekunle Lawal Road, Ikoyi, Lagos, one of the properties sought to be forfeited by the EFCC to the federal government. The EFCC counsel, Buhari Bala, told the court that the matter was fixed for Thursday for report of compliance of the orders made on August 15, 2024. On that day, the vacation judge at the time, Justice Akintayo Aluko, had ordered an interim forfeiture of a cash sum of $245 million and some landed properties linked to the embattled former CBN governor. The court had also ordered the publication of the forfeiture order in the newspapers to enable interested persons come forward to show cause why a permanent forfeiture order of the assets should not be made. Flowing from that, Buhari Bala told Justice Dikpeolu, who took over as vacation judge, that the EFCC had complied with the orders of court and filed an affidavit showing that the order was published on August 28, 2024 in a newspaper. Now to the foreign scene. At least 17 pupils have died after a fire ripped through their school dormitory in central Kenya. According to Kenya Police spokesperson Vesila Onyago, there are 17 fatalities from this incident, and there are also others who were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Joe Biden's son, Hunter, pleaded guilty in a tax evasion trial on Thursday without reaching the deal he had sought with prosecutors in a case that has been an embarrassment for the U.S. president. The 54-year-old admitted 9 counts related to failing to pay $1.4 million in taxes over the past decade. Money, the prosecutors said, he sprung instead on luxury living, sex workers, and a drug habit. The pleas came on the day jury selection from a trial had been due to start, and hours after Biden had offered to plead guilty in the hope of striking a deal that might keep him out of prison. But no deal materialized, and Biden made the pleas in open court. U.S. District Judge Max Casey set sentencing for December 16. Biden faces up to 17 years in prison and a fine in excess of $1 million. A trial has been expected to rehash sordid details of a life that the defendant and his family, including the president, have long acknowledged had gone off the rails. To wrap up Housing TV news at the top of the hour is sports. Cole Palmer has not been included in Chelsea's squad for the opening stages of the UEFA Conference League in a bid to manage the England Stars' minutes in a season that could run till mid-July. Romeo Lavia and Wesley Fofana were also left out reportedly due to load management reasons, with Chelsea set to participate in a new expanded club World Cup in the United States, which runs from July 15 to July 13. Palmer scored in England's Euro 2024 final defeat by Spain just 33 days before the beginning of the Premier League season. The 22-year-old has pulled out of the England squad for Nations League matches against the Republic of Ireland and Finland this week. Global Footballers Union FIFPro said on Thursday that football's governing bodies are failing to meet the duty of care towards players by denying them sufficient rest, and many tournaments continue to expand. The union suggests bringing in a guaranteed minimum amount of time off and even the introduction of a maximum number of games for players. Palmer played 57 matches for club and country last season. That's the much we can take on Housing TV news at the top of the hour. Before we go, here is a recap of our pleads guilty to tax evasion charges. In sports, Palmer, Fofana, Lavia left out of Chelsea's European squad. To get more news in the housing sector, subscribe to Housing TV Africa on YouTube. Follow Housing TV Africa on all social media platforms. And don't forget to download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I am Maimuna Bagudu. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.